I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Alessandra Sacco. She is the Dean of the Graduate School of Biomedical Sciences, as well as the Director and Professor for the Development, Aging, and Regeneration Program.
Thank you, Nisha, and welcome everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. This is an exciting time in considering a postdoc, and so we're happy that you are considering our institute for your next step in your career. So in this session, I will discuss one of the funding opportunities that are available to postdoc at our institute. But I just wanted to remind everyone that this afternoon in the career development session, Nisha will talk about opportunities for career development. And I want to say that in our institute, there is really a strong emphasis on career development and training. And there are many opportunities if you are applying also to other fellowship or foundations to get feedback within the institute from the Office of Education and Training and International Services. And also many of us faculty are happy to provide feedback and help you succeed. So stay tuned for that session this afternoon. Okay, with that, let's go to the next slide. So the San Diego Natal Shock Center is a center that includes basically an interaction between three major institutes here in the Mesa area. So our institute, Sanford Burnham Prebys, UC San Diego, and the Salk Institute. This is a center grant that is funded by the NIH and Institute of Aging. And really the focus in this case of this funding opportunity is on aging research. The overall goal is to understand the heterogeneity of aging, and in order to allow the future development of personalized interventions to increase health span, so the number of years that we live healthy and happy with that. So now we are in our fourth year of this center. There are 8 or 9 of these centers around the nation, and really the focus is to provide services and to promote aging research, but also providing training opportunities in these areas. If you go to the next slide. Okay, so this is the structure of how the Shock Center is composed. So there are 3 research cores. So basically the center provide access to research cores, and in addition to the one that we have at our institute. So if you see, there is a human cell model of aging here on the top left that is led by Rusty Gage and Anthony Molina, that offers access to human fibroblast cells collected from young and age patients. And this is an incredible resource to really validate in human cells what we study in animal models, for example. So it's a fundamental step to move forward towards translation. The second research core is the heterogeneity of aging that is led by Christian Metallo and Peter Adams, and the core there offers a variety of omics approaches, single-cell RNA-seq, ATAC-seq, but also proteomics analysis and imaging, really to study the heterogeneity of aging. And what I mean by heterogeneity is heterogeneity not only between cells in the same tissue, but also across different tissues or across different individuals. So the concept of heterogeneity is actually quite broad, and there are several opportunities to which we can address these questions within this center. And then the third research core is the integrative models of aging that is led by Tatiana Sharpe. That is, it's a bioinformatic service that allows all the experimenters to analyze the large omics data that more and more now we have in our research. And so having this support is fundamental to understand and interpret and analyze our data. And the center, the principal investigator of the center is Gerard Shadle, who's professor at Salk. And I lead the research development core, which has a focus on education and training, so as this component within the Shock Center. So if we go to the next slide. So the overall goal of the research development core is to bring new investigators into the field of aging. So enrich our community of research in the field of aging. And we do this in several ways. So if you go to the next, if you can advance. First, we provide a pilot program, which is basically funding opportunities for postdocs and also like more senior researchers. So each year we have a call which it opens in the spring and with a deadline in August, and we award up to 6 pilot awards of up to $20,000 for junior investigators or investigators that are established but are new to the aging field, again, to bring new talent to the aging community. And the funds are to be spent in the research course of the center. If you go to the next one. So in addition to providing this pilot funding, the awardees also will benefit from a personalized mentoring program. So when the applicant is awarded this pilot project, is paired with an experienced researchers in the aging research within the center network. And that actually will serve the opportunity of ensure that the project basically is advanced and is actually completed as is defined by the applicant, but also to provide mentoring opportunity for career development, which ranges for how will I utilize this data from this pilot study to apply for larger grants? How can basically the mentor help me in defining the next step of my career, and how do I approach, for example, applying for a new position or for promotion, and also for career networking. So it's, again, now this is in its fourth year and is a very successful mentoring program that takes place here in the center. Yes, we also, the awardees will benefit from the career development workshop that are offered here at Sanford Burnham Previs, and I'm sure that Nisha will talk about it this afternoon. So several career development workshops that range from grant writing. So how do we approach grant writing? What do I need to consider when I'm actually starting to think about applying for a grant application? Can be federal funding or can be specific foundation, but also oral presentation skills and communication skills to communicate our science. And in addition to a variety of opportunities to hear people from different career paths come and talk. And so to develop your own vision of what your career will be and what do you want to be in a few years. The pilot awardees will present at the annual symposium. We have an annual symposium for the Natal Shock Center that it's each year in the spring. It's usually in late March. And so each pilot awardee will present the outcome of his pilot project, but is also invited as soon as he's awarded and to come and network with the pilot awardees from the previous years. Again, to build a network between pilot awardees and expand basically this community. So this call is open nationwide. And so everyone from the postdoctoral stage up are eligible to apply from US academic institutions. And so we had usually half of applicants that are come from local institutions in San Diego and half that are coming nationwide from different states in this country. And so these are important dates to keep in mind. So this year, we will open the call at the end of this month on May 27. And then I will host Zoom consultation sessions in June. No, can we? Okay, thank you. In June 6 and June 18. The purpose of the Zoom consultation session is to describe a little bit the goals of the pilot project, the pilot program, but also to answer any question potential applicants might have in preparation for their application. And that can range from eligibility or to the focus of the study that they want to propose. So we're really happy to provide this because we want our trainees to be successful and to take full advantage of these opportunities. The applications are due in late August, and then they're going to be notified sometimes in late October, early November. And here you see a link in the previous slide. There is a link, and I believe the slides will be shared to the SOLC website for the Shock Center, where you can find all the information regarding the pilot grant program. Go to the next slide. So the award duration is for 12 months. And the eligibility, so as I mentioned, applicants from all US academic institutions are eligible to apply. And the career stage, applicant must have a PhD. We define junior researcher as researchers who finish their PhD within the last 10 years. and assistant professor within the 5 years of tenure. This is just for us to know basically if the applicant is a junior researcher and so at which stage of the career it is, but anyone is eligible to apply. You can see also established investigators new to the aging field. And we get a blend of both in terms of application, both postdocs, but also assistant professor and full professor. I just want to add that, of course, each applicant is evaluated considering career stage. So it's very exciting that we have both funded successfully in the last 4 years, several postdocs, but also staff scientists and assistant professors. So the funds is up to 20,000 to be spent in the core and then need to be spent by the end of the project period. So here, I'm not going to go through everything because it's also on the website here, but these are the required application component. Basically, this is a short application. So the proposal is 3 pages and really needs to include an abstract, the significance of the project, and the experimental approach. And then there are other non-science forms that are required. So the budget, the biosketch, and the bibliography. Important, the evaluation criteria. So how do we evaluate applicants? So there are 3 main evaluation criteria. One is how well does the investigator research align with the center goals for the heterogeneity of aging? This is important because every time we apply for grant, we need to be mindful of what is the goal of that funding mechanism and tailor the application to that funding mechanism. The second one is significance. So how significant is the study to the biology of aging? And the third one is the potential of the investigators to make significant impact in the biology of aging field. Applications are submitted through the Salk Institute competition portals. And next slide. This is a picture of all the pilot awardees that we had so far in the last 4 years. And they're also on the website that you can see the title of their pilot project and their career stage. And we're very happy about their progress. And also we can see that we know that many of them publish the results of their pilot studies. They progress in their career through promotions and they obtain their own independent funding. So we're very happy to have this cohort that is growing each year of scientists in aging research. And with that, I think I'll stop and I'm happy to take any questions.
Questions for Dr. Sacco? If not, then we will move on to the other major funding that comes through our institute and is unique to Sanford Burnham Prebys, which are the Fishman Fund Awards. I'd like to introduce Dr. Barbara Rynch. She is a professor emerita, as well as the Associate Dean for Program Advancement within our graduate school, and she's the chair of the Fishman Fund Selection Committees. So she will talk about the Fishman Fund Awards here at the Institute. Barbara, I'll turn it over to you.
It's a real pleasure to be here today and introduce the Fishman funding opportunities. So I myself was actually recruited by the Fishmans many years ago, and I've had a successful career at the Institute. So I came from MIT and I was welcomed by the Fishman, and I experienced many years of their support during my career. First slide. So the Fishmans actually funded the Institute 48 years ago. So we have our anniversary, 50-year anniversary in about 2 years, 2026. And they were very dedicated to fostering the career of young scientists at all levels. Next slide. So we have donors who sort of sponsor these Fishman Awards, and we have currently 2 of them. So one is the Fishman Fund Career Development Award, which awards about 100,000 to 3 postdocs annually. And the Fishman Fund, more prestigiously, is a 2-year fellowship, which is awarded to postdocs once every other year. And so here, next slide. Here are sort of some of the last year's Fishman Fund Career Awards. And so they are selected for their professional development outside of the laboratory. So what can you do with these awards? Next slides. So they have, so clearly the postdocs who are selected for this award have a clearly articulated career goal and a described plan. So we're selecting people who are really going for developing into successful scientists. And so a postdoc can apply for this during any time of their career at the institute. Next slide. So what can you do with it? So this is sort of, you can get extracurricular activities like apply to national conferences or international conference. They are also already mentioned. We have a number of educational courses and workshops, both here at the Institute and also at UCSD and in the Scientific Mesa, that you can attend with funds from this award. You can also sort of go to other labs and learn new techniques to sponsor your career. Needless to say, sort of other things, professional societies, computers, laptops, software, and also for international scholars, it can be used for green card application fees as well. Next slide. So this has helped quite a number of fellows already. So the Fishman Fund on fellowship, on the other hand, is much more prestigious. It doesn't occur quite as frequently. So we only have one fellowship every other year. And it recognizes a postdoc who really shows leading edge promise in science. And so I have the honor to sort of chair the committee since quite a few years now. And we've had very successful people here. So this is a 2-year fellowship. It's a super stipend, sort of it pays a bit more than a regular stipend. It comes with fringe benefits and a 10K professional development allowance, with which you can do what I just talked about for the Fishman Development Awards. And it's awarded to the most stellar postdocs who present a clear vision and a plan and a red thread in their research to contribute to the Institute's mission and be part of the next step of the discovery. Next slide. So here are our last Fishman Fund fellowships, and sort of I just want to cite what one of the fellows has sort of cited after receiving this award. So this fellowship has allowed me the opportunity to work on a project that I would have otherwise not been able to. I'm confident that this fellowship will play an integral role in my ability to continue down my career path to become an independent investigator and that can contribute to science and medicine. And all these fellows now are in positions and in very nice positions to foster their career and continue. Next slide. And so this is a slide which sort of shows we had 82 postdocs with the Fishman Fund Career Development Award. So this is the smaller award, the 10,000, and sort of it shows the distributions. So people have been going to fostering all sorts of careers. So some going to academia, some to industry, biotech, pharmacy, but also into the medical field. So the funds are very much appreciated. Of course, we're constantly working on adding more funds to this, and there's discussions of sort of increasing the Fishman Fund portfolio. And we hope you apply and foster your career at our institute. Thank you.
Questions for Dr. Ranch?
Oh, ich bin gerade in einem Meeting. Moment.
There's a question in the chat.
There is a question in the chat. Thank you, Nicole. About the fellowship, and I will answer that yes, postdocs who receive the Fishman Fund Fellowship, as well as other fellowships at the Institute, will still receive the same benefits as postdocs with other titles and employees.